Learn how to find the slope of a line. We already know that, right? So some of you might have gotten the slope of a line. We learned this already. What more is there to know? Okay, and maybe you forgot. Okay, so, but we also need to talk about a different way to find slope because sometimes it's difficult by looking at a graph. So, when we're looking at the notes on the first slide, it says the constant rate of change of a line is called the slope of a line. We know that. Slope is the rise over the run. This type of thing we've talked about already this year. Slope being rise over run. And when we look at a graph, that's easy to do as long as we can find points that are on the corners. Right? And if we can find points that are on the corners, this is a really easy task. In this case, we go up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. The slope is 3/2. That's not a hard thing at all to really do. It's just counting. Agreed? We can handle that? Okay, the tricky part becomes sometimes our graphs don't really look like they're on any corners. Okay, I see maybe a corner right here. Yeah, but not really because, so I kind of thought that at first too, right? If I put a dot right there, I went up 1 over 2, but up 1 over 2, that would be there.
Yeah.
And other direction, that would be there, there, there. So that's not really working out very well. They just, but it's a straight line.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay, so my guess is we don't see enough of this graph to be able to tell. My guess is it's probably on a corner somewhere out here or somewhere down here, and we just can't see it. Okay, so what we need to know is sometimes it's very difficult to determine the slope just based on the graph. Okay, because if they don't label points for us or give us nice points on the corner, it's going to be hard to pick those points up. Agreed? Okay. Now this one, that's a little bit nicer, wouldn't you say? But still not really nice. Originally, I kind of felt like it was up 1 over 1. I guess it kind of is. Like the points just aren't on the corners. Like here, up 1 over 1, up 1. It's just not on corners, right?
It's like super close, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not quite. So the line is just not showing right on corners. Okay, so we need to find a way around that because a graph and graphing it isn't always going to be able to find us the slope. Okay, we can, but it's sometimes hard to read. Agreed with that? These graphs are really hard to read. Okay, so flip the page. Instead, what we're going to use is something called, you're on the wrong page, man. Page 4. Okay, maybe they stuck together. Okay, so we're going to use something called the slope formula. Okay, we're going to do a lot of formulas in this unit. The slope formula says if you know any 2 points on a line, or if you're just given the points and not given the graph at all, you can find the slope. Okay, because the slope is really the change in the y, how much do you step up, which is really subtracting the y values over the change in the x values. This is your rise over your run. Okay, it's how much do you step up? Well, if I went from 4 to 7, I stepped up 3 because 7 minus 4 is 3. Agree with that? Okay, so all we're doing is subtracting those values. This letter M, in terms of linear algebra, M stands for slope. Okay, we're going to see a lot of equations where we're using the letter M, and that always means what's the slope. Okay, so this formula is important. It's y2, which is just 0.2, the second point, minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so given 2 points, we're just gonna find the slope of the line that passes through those points. Okay, this is easy to do if we label the points. Hang on, if I label this x1, y1, and x2, y2, I have the first point and the second point. That's all the 1 and the 2 mean. It's the first point and the second point. To find the slope, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, we're going to substitute the numbers in. What's y2?
6, no.
Look at the points. What's y2?
6.
6. So 6 minus, what's y1?
-3.
So 6 minus -3 over x2 is 4 minus -2. And we do the math. What's 6 minus -3? 9. Right? These two minuses become a plus. 6 plus 3 is 9. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then we have to simplify. 9 over 6 is 3 over 2. So the slope, m, is 3 over 2. So up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. Okay? Kind of make sense? Okay. If I graphed this, I would have -2, -3. I'd have a point right there, and 4 right here. To get between those points, I'd have to go up 9 over 6. Okay? The formula helps us do that without having to make the graph. I don't want to have to graph it every time. Okay? All right. So let's look at this one. x1, y1, x2, y2. So the slope, m, equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. That formula never changes. It's always the same. Okay. y2 is 3 minus y1. 3 minus -6 over 2 minus -4, which ends up being 9 over 6. Same thing. Do you notice anything about those problems?
They're the same numbers as different negatives.
They were the same. They were actually the same numbers. I just put the negative signs in different places. It didn't matter. It ended up giving me the same in this case, right? Okay. Questions there? Yes.
What if you would put the 6 with the 2 and 3? Would that mess it up then?
Okay. So what if we? Yeah. Then it's going to be different points, right? Okay. But we could have switched it. And what if it was the points 2, 3, and -4, -6? You could have the points in different orders. I could have called this point x1, y1, this one x2, y2. I'd still get the same answer. That doesn't matter. So I could have done -6 minus 3 over -4 minus 2. You still get the same answer because this is -9 over -6. Two negatives make a positive, so it would be 3 over 2. You still get the same answer. Okay? I want you to try the next two. Find the slope for each of those.
We will go over those after lunch.
Let's run through these, make sure you are doing them right.
I probably
Okay.
wasn't, honestly.
I always go through and label the points, because if I label it, then I know what I'm trying to find. So we have x1, y1. Where's that? There we go. x2, y2. Okay, to find the slope, it's y2 minus y1, so 1 minus 3 over -1 minus 4. So on the first one, you should have had -2 over -5.
Not even.
No?
I got 5 4.
No. Do you see what you did wrong?
I did 4 minus 1 minus.
Okay.
What?
So you guys have to remember the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Label your points and pick out the right numbers. y2 is 1. y1 is 3. 1 minus 3. x2 is -1. x1 is 4. -1 minus 4. This would not work as an answer. You can never have a negative over a negative. That just becomes a positive. So you would say it's 2/5 as your answer. Okay. Number 2. Again, x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 2 minus y1, which is 5. x2 is 4 minus -1. 2 minus 5 is -3 over 4 minus -1, that's plus. So -3/5 would be your answer. Done. Okay, questions there? Okay. Then I need everybody to get out a piece of scratch paper. If you don't have some, go get some from up there.